Hi, this is Kamikaze Games in with my trusty sidekick, the mac and cheese plushie. Should we name him? What should we name him? I think we should name him Mac. Oh my god. So, I live in an apartment, and at this apartment there are many tenants. But the thing is that these are pet-friendly apartments, okay? And that's fine. This is I have had barely any issues with the dogs that occupy this place. There's only ever been one night where I was actually infuriated to the point of actually considering purchasing a firearm for defensive reasons. But that was only once, only one time, and I've lived here for what, 6 months now? No, not even that, 8 months. But there's still the problem that some people apparently think that it's 100% acceptable to just let their dog shit outside and not clean up after it. Now, I understand. I wouldn't want to clean it up if I was a pet owner. But being a pet owner comes with certain responsibilities. But clearly I am the only one in this entire building that subscribes to this philosophy. Cause it just keeps happening. I have wanted to write a strongly worded letter to the higher ups of this apartment complex and be like, every time that I see a pile of fucking dog shit outside, you should increase the monthly pet fee for rent by $5. Give them five basically. But yeah. But like the thing is, I don't want to be that person. But at the same time, on one hand, I don't want to be that person. On the other hand, I'm sick of seeing piles of shit in my fucking front yard. There's got to be a middle ground around here somewhere. There has to be. But that is a to be continued. The point of this video is I was going to talk about like the interpersonal relationships that I try to keep at work because you know me. You know me. Most people know me as the guy that yells about NASCAR. And that is a fair assessment. A fair assessment. I did definitely try to go for that angle for a long time. But the problem is that people assume that because I put on such an abrasive side of me for those videos, that they think that I act like this in normal day-to-day life. And they wonder how I can keep a job when I'm, yelling at everyone about how much the chase sucks and how many of the drivers in this series do not deserve to be anywhere near stock cars, let alone NASCAR, okay? Let alone cars in general, okay? People assume that I bring that part of me to the workplace. And the thing is that I wish I did. I wish I did. That would make things a lot more interesting and give people a lot more of a reason to pay attention to the things that I have to say. However, I do not do that, unfortunately. You will be shocked and, quite frankly, appalled to hear that I do not act like that at my workplace. In fact, I like to keep everything professional there. Literally, if I could never see my coworkers in public, I would be very happy about that fact. You see, because I don't care. If I work with you, you may be a fine, pleasant person. Okay? You may be an entirely acceptable human being with many great ideas, many fantastic character qualities. You may have all of these things. You may be the perfect package. However, I am forced to be here, and just by association, your existence makes me think about work. And I'm sorry. That's it. I can't think of anything else. Whenever I look into your eyes, all I see are hotel key cards. I'm sorry. That's just the way that it is. It's not my fault. Blame my brain. It's my brain. Bad brain. Stop with these horrible thoughts. But no, I'm sorry. I don't like to make like friends with coworkers. And like I will treat everyone fine, but I feel like there's a conflict of interest there because whenever someone fucks up, they're going to expect you to take the fall for them and it's like no. But on the same token, I try not to sell anyone out. There have been many times where I have been witness to some sheer stupidity. Okay? I have been witness. I have observed with my own two eyes some of the most insane, mind boggling moments of stupidity. I keep it to myself. I don't care. You, on the same token, you are just trying to get a paycheck too. Who am I to be like the police and like report every single stupid thing that someone does? See, my favorite part about my job is that no one's around, and whenever they're not around, I can cuss them out for the stupid things that they've done, get it out of my system, silently correct it, and just let everything go about on its merry way. All right? All right, that's how I operate. If you're gonna fuck around like in front of me, you're gonna get yourself fired at some point. So if someone's having a bad day and they're like just having a difficult go about it and like everything is falling down at the seams, their entire life is crumbling, before my very eyes, I'm gonna be like, it's a Monday. I'm gonna report that shit unless it's something like egregious. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, that was all you. No, no, that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. That nothing's gonna come of that. And as a matter of fact, that's just gonna make my job more difficult. Because if you do get fired, then that's more work I have to do. Then again, in some cases, people leaving, quitting, or getting fired has actually, greatly benefited the entire company. And it's like, man, I can't wait for this to happen, but it's not going to be me that does it. I will not have that guilt on my conscience. No, sir. No, sir. Not me. My hands are clean. I had no part in that. It is your fault and your fault alone. This is why I can't be a manager, by the way. This is why literally there's nothing that I could ever manage, okay? Because these are the kind of thought processes that I'm going to take into a position like a manager. And I'm going to be like, all right, you may have like accidentally set the entire building on fire and like burned up all of our paychecks in the process and like, gotten half the people staying in the hotel killed. But, people make mistakes. You just gotta live and let live. See, that's the kind of red line stance that I will take in those situations. But like I said, I don't really. There have been many people that I've worked with who, well, mostly in high school that were already friends before I fucking, started working there, or they started working there even. This one guy who was like one of my best friends in high school was dating my sister. And that's really how we got to know each other, is that he started working at the old grocery store. And like from then on, we were a fucking team. We were a force, okay? Those were the fucking days. What I'm trying to say is I miss high school. Yeah, and it's like, but like when it comes to, like there was this one dude, okay? So when I started here, there was this one fucking dude who was like a music producer. He did all sorts of drugs. I mean, man, the guy was baked every single time he came in. It was great. And like, he had a great time. And like, discovered, he doesn't know my channel, I don't think, but he figured out that I was making videos of my own. He was like, yo, dude, we should like do shit and like, we should make music together because you make music too. And I'm like, that would be cool. But like, whenever I look at you, the only thing that I can think of are the worst days that I've had at work. And it's not your fault. It isn't your fault. It is my brain's fault. But whenever I look at you, that's all I see. And I don't want to be reminded of the sheer misery that was the first like week and a half at this hotel. Because ever since, I mean, shit's just nothing. Like now that I know how to do things and now that I know how to manipulate things into my favor, whatever. I can work here the next 5 years. I don't give a shit. But that first week and a half, it was not like that's worth a video in itself. I think I made a couple of videos on that, as a matter of fact. But yeah. So I never and then he left the hotel and like he would text me like when I was on my overnight shift, he'd fucking text me and be like, hey yo, send me your Spotify playlist. I'd be like, yep, there it is. Oh man. But after he quit, I haven't talked to him since. I haven't even seen him since. No sweat off my ass. You know, I'm sure he's enjoying life just like I am. You know, I don't need that shit. I don't need to have a former employee of the place that I'm still working at being, like just, you know, like every single, day that we're hanging out, be like, man, that place sucked. And I'll be like, I know, I have to go there tomorrow. Yeah, there's not much conversation that can be made there. It sucks. Sucks to suck. But like I said, I will not, you know, I'm not going to be the one who gets you fired, okay? If we're working together, you're going to get yourself fired. Oh man. And another thing is like people will see there's a life philosophy that I have lived by ever since my first job at the old grocery store. And it's just because, that the old grocery store hired majority high schoolers. High schoolers and like middle-aged housewives whose kids have already gone off to college and she's sitting at home doing nothing and needs to do something. Yeah. That's the demographic of the old grocery store. Probably still is to this day, honestly. But yeah. So that kind of environment, if you get, the old people are going to be, spreading more rumors than the high schoolers, is what I'm trying to say. And ever since my first job, I've been like, man, everyone's going to talk shit behind your back. It's just a fact of life. The second you walk out of a room, people are shit talking you, okay? I know it happens because I've bared witness to it. And I know people shit talk me. And I don't care. I literally don't care. Okay? Because I know it's a thing that's gonna happen and it's out of my control. Even if I wanted to stop it, I couldn't. Okay? Now, in fact, if I tried to stop it, it would make it even worse. Okay? So, but on the same token, you see, with every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if I know that everyone's gonna talk shit behind my back, then fucking a right, I'm gonna talk shit behind everyone else's back, and I'll be clear. I'm not gonna start the conversation. I'm not gonna see someone walking in and say, "Shit, you know what that fucking bitch did today?" No, no, that's not me. Someone always comes up to me, and it's like whenever they come into work, and they'll be like, "Hey," and like they pick up something, and I just look at it, and they're like, "Man, she's a bitch, isn't she?" It's like you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Most of the time, I just smile and I'm like, I agree, man. Bitches be crazy. It's like I don't know, man. You initiated this conversation, okay? I'm just merely nodding and pretending like I'm listening. Like the shit that I have heard from other people. It's like, man, imagine saying that to their face instead of to me. Instead of this beautiful face. Do you have any idea how much shit has gone into this ear and this one for that matter? I mean, come on, dude. You gotta admit that this ear may look pure. Okay, this may look like a purebred, unmolested ear. You'd be wrong. These ears have heard some shit. Okay, over the years, it's been like working for 10 years. Working full time for more than full time for 10 years. You're gonna hear some shit. Like, oh my god, dude. And I'm dead serious. It's the second you walk out of the room. I mean, the ones that are hated the most, like I feel like they are known that they're hated. Like whenever I see someone, like I try to see the best in everyone. Okay, I try to think about. Okay, so you are incapable of doing anything correctly, but you are funny. So I don't really want you to go. Yeah. There have been many people where I'm like, I'm like the second that I meet, I'm like, I'm at the end of my thread. And it's like a lot of problems, especially in this age, in the age of the plague when no one wants to work. You gotta kind of just take what you can get. And oh man, we're getting some stuff. Yeah. I have met so many different personality types, just all the tropes, all the personality tropes. I never met someone who never shut the fuck up until last year. Until last year. I think I was like the second shift with this one chick. And like I was just, I was watching the Xfinity race at Atlanta. All right. There was this chick who just stood next to me the whole time. And, like, she'd been training with the manager beforehand. So she knew that, you don't just stand around doing nothing all day. There are some things that you actually do at the hotel. No, we stood out there for probably a good hour and a half. And she did not stop talking once. I learned so much about this chick's extended family. Oh my goodness gracious. I would discuss it if I didn't think that there was a chance that she was watching this video, but like, I had no idea that one family could be that dysfunctional. And I had no idea that someone would be so willing to just share that with someone that you've just met for the first time 5 minutes before. It's insane, dude. But it's like, oh my God. Of course, I'm the one that has to fucking train everyone because I'm the only one who knows how to do anything around the fucking place. So I'm the one that's stuck listening to this for hours on end. And it's like, I don't know how to politely be like, look, I get it. I get it. We all deal with trauma in our own ways. But could you please shut the fuck up for 5 minutes? Please. Like, I'm just smiling and nodding the whole time. Like, that was the perfect foil for my fucking, listening ability. This is like, why? Why do I allow this to happen? Why don't I put my foot down and be like, no, I will not play this game. In fact, you will be silent for the rest of this shift. You don't want to send people home early on their first night so that they can get a feel of how an 8-hour shift at the place goes. But it gets to a point where it's like, bitch, do you ever breathe? Take a breath. Oh, man. That one had been repressed in my memories for a while, as you can plainly see. But yeah, it's like I didn't stop it. And it's like, that's someone who's going to get along with me. Because I don't tell her to shut the fuck up. And like, there's so many different personality types. There's the dominant personality types. There's the submissive personality types. There's, bondage personality types. There's all sorts of different personality types that are out there, out in this world. And I try my best to get along with every single one of them, okay? And I think I do a pretty good job of getting along with them, okay? There are a lot of people that like to, make it clear that they don't like anyone, like the cynics. Like, there's been some people that I worked with where, like, basically they're like me with NASCAR right now, okay? They have absolutely no faith in anyone, and they just yearn for the sweet embrace of death every second that they are in the company of anyone else, okay? Yes, that is the personality type that I'm talking about. But you see, the thing is, you gotta work around that. And I think that's a personality type that I jive with a bit because that's the kind of personality type that's not going to talk to you. So I don't have to pretend to care about what they're talking about. We just mesh together and we do our work. I think me and her were the best in the restaurant. If we were on if we were on for the whole day together, shit was getting done. Shit was getting fucking done, and it was getting done the right way. That's the way that I like to do it. Though I like things done correctly the first time, especially if you know what you're doing. There is no excuse for you to fuck up if you've been working for 2 months, okay? 2 months. 2 months. Some people say 3 months. Fuck that. 2 months. 2 months to understand how a place, the ins and out of your position. Not the ins and out of the entire company, but the ins and out of your position in the company, okay? Okay, it is not difficult to get good at something. It does take effort to get great at something, though. It does take effort to be proficient. Being average is one thing, being proficient is another. But there is an area between average and proficient that I think if you straddle that line, that is the perfect place when you're trying to survive in this world of high employee overturn. Because you see, the average people, no one's going to expect anything out of them. And that's what I like most. Because I try to come off as an idiot. I'll be honest. I'll just talk to people like this, just use short, simple sentences, just kind of casually just talk to people like I'm not trying to patronize them or anything. Like, it's just the way the life is sometimes. You just sit back and, you just do your job and everything just kind of comes to you, It's just, you just greet people the way that they want to be greeted, and just make sure that everything... I don't pretend to be intelligent, okay? I think I'm above average mentally. I don't think you find this level of debonair without at least a little bit of intelligence, okay? I don't measure my intelligence based off of my public education, because I think I talk about this in an upcoming episode of LA Rush, but there's a difference between academic knowledge and practical knowledge. There's a real difference there, okay? You're not going to hire a PhD, master's in quantum physics to come and fix your garbage disposal. You're going to call up the guy who got straight D's in all of his math classes that he ever took in high school, if he even finished high school. And you're going to call him up. He's going to get down on his hands and knees and he's going to turn a wrench. Do you think someone with a master's in quantum physics is going to sit on their knees and turn a wrench? Who would you rather be with in an apocalyptic situation? The master in quantum physics, who regularly looks down on his secretary and cannot function without an espresso? Or are you going to go with the family man, plumber, who likes to go hunting every winter? Who are you going to team up with in the apocalypse? Practical knowledge is way more valuable than academic knowledge, especially in this era of education, where they need to invent different ways to do fucking addition because they had an inferiority complex and have, with their peers during their time in college, and they also didn't have fathers present in their lives. So, they're just, messed up in other ways, okay? My little brother had a math assignment a couple of years ago. And what you were supposed to do is you were supposed to do like 15 plus 17. Now you'd think that, you do the 5 and the 7 and you carry the 1. And then, no. There was this shit that you had to draw out a bunch of boxes and make rows and columns of those boxes and then shade in the boxes. It's addition! You don't need to draw fucking boxes to add numbers together. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Do you want to know why people hate school? 'Cause of shit like that. That's so fucking stupid. It's 2 numbers. Add them. You don't need a fucking, art easel to, take your watercolors, and your paintbrush, and you need to, make a Bob Ross painting every time you do a fucking math problem. This is real. This was an actual assignment. I'm more pissed off about this than Larson winning California. That was so stupid. That was the single most stupid thing that I've done in school ever since college. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good because they are definitely going to apply the square drawing process once they get into the workplace. That is a very practical and realistic thing to expect in an office environment, is that whenever you add 15 plus 17, you're going to do you're going to do an entire art project. You're going to do some 3D design. You're going to do ceramics just to figure out fucking 15 plus 17. I'm still pissed off about that. That was 5 years ago, and I'm still pissed off about it. I can hold a grudge. See Kevin Harvick. Anyway, what was this video about? You tell me. Please write in the comments section of this video, what do you think this was about? And whoever writes down the best comment will get a heart. It will get a comment heart, and I might even pin it. You want that. You want to get pinned. You're gonna get pinned. One of my favorite memories of the old grocery store was right when my actual like best friend of all time in high school joined the old grocery store crew. And that night there was some milk that expired, so we were just gonna pour it down the drain and throw it away because that's what you really can't mark down milk when it expires. But you can try. I mean, you're more than welcome to try. But it was a lot of milk, and we just dumped it out in the sink, and there was some almond milk that was expired. And I'd never tried almond milk, and I always wanted to try almond milk, but it was like fucking $4.50, so I never bought one. So I took a drink of the one that was expired, and it might have been because it was expired, but it was fucking nasty. So we're draining that, and like he left an hour early before I did, and like we were just sitting on one of the carts, and we were just drinking cartons of milk. God, that was great. That was fucking great. We had the world in our hands. And then he started dating one of the cashiers, and it was a conflict of interest, and he had to quit. So shit goes to shit. Some days you're the shit, other days you're the toilet. What can I say? Anyway, this was a video. Thanks for watching. Say bye, Mac.